1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, so if you've watched any of my videos on my channel, you'd know that I've spoken about private equity firms buying up all our houses and jacking up prices, and it's a big reason why Americans need to find alternative forms of housing like RVs and mobile homes, because the cost of buying a home and the cost of renting is too high because of these private equity firms. It's getting out of control and it's disgusting. Let's take a look at this. Mobile homes are one of the last remaining affordable housing options in America. Now they've become private equity's latest target. They can't even let us have this. They can't even let us have the last affordable homes in our country. They have to swoop in because of the disgusting greed and buy up our mobile homes because they have to have everything. And that's late stage capitalism for you. Private equity firms now own at least 1,200 parks nationwide. And a lot of times, which we'll see in a second, they're not even taking care of them. They're not doing good by the residents that live there. They're not fixing the pipes. They're not keeping the communities nice. They're jacking up prices. Either way, whether they take care of the park or not, because they're like disgusting late-stage capitalist landlords. And that's where we're at. Residents have seen their rents spike by as much as 100% in the last 6 years. 100%. You can't raise it like any more than that. I mean, it's just like their greed is disgusting. Let's take a look at this. Let's watch some of this and we'll get into some other facts and statistics because it's just so sad and I feel so bad for all of these families that have to, get forced out because they're getting priced out of living in a mobile home because of these companies.
Private equity.
Private equity firms are increasingly getting involved.
Some of the biggest investors in America have moved into this industry.
People living at a local mobile home park outraged over the sharp increase in lot rent.
Rents were raised by nearly 60%.
Their rent could increase by thousands of dollars a year.
A group of mobile home residents are protesting their living conditions.
It's like you genetically bred a superior predator and let them loose in a target-rich environment. This is actually a good day.
Look at the water. Look at the water that they're getting in this mobile home park because the private equity firm bought the mobile home park and is not taking care of it. And so look at the brown, murky, disgusting water that this guy gets. And most likely has to take a shower with that water because they're not taking care of the mobile home park, yet they're raising rents by 100% over the last 6 years. So a lot of these people are getting kicked out. They're having to move because the living conditions are bad and the rent is too high. It's disgusting. This is what these companies do. They only care about making money. They don't care about you. And this is where we're at. We can't even have mobile home parks anymore. And it's not just mobile home parks. They're buying up our power grids, which we'll talk about. If your power bill is going up, now you're going to know why. It's private equity firms buying up all our power grids and jacking up prices. And it's the AI data centers as well. But this is where we're at. And it's not just the power grids either. They're buying up everything. And that's why things are getting so expensive. And the government's just letting it happen because they pay the politicians. It's just disgusting that they work in concert with each other to keep prices high and just drain Americans like vampires, just drain us of all our cash.
Sometimes it's like mud.
This corporation is putting profits ahead of the safety and welfare of our local citizens. And this we will not allow.
So why have manufactured homes become private equity's latest target? And what can be done to save one of the last forms of affordable housing in the country? 3 years ago, a private equity firm bought Madeline's community and later sold to another firm. Since then, her monthly rent plus fees have jumped 50%.
Instead of what I thought the rent was going to be, it's $200 more. I have nowhere to go. Just the other day, my daughter went with me to the food bank, and I hadn't done that before.
So this lady's getting forced to go to the food bank and getting forced out of her home, which she's lived in for 50 years. Not this exact home, but she's lived in mobile home parks for 50 years and has been in this home for many years, getting pushed out by a private equity firm because they came in and bought it and they're like, oops, you can't afford the jacked up price that we gave you. Sorry, gotta go. Just kicks this old lady out and now she's forced to go to food banks with her daughter. This is right. They don't care. You could write 100 letters to these companies saying, hey, you're kicking out grandmas every single day from their home, and they're having to go to food banks now because you bought up this community and jacked up prices. And they'll be like, hey, I don't care. That's capitalism, baby, right? This is how they think. They don't care. You're just another number. They don't care about you. And so this is where we're at, where they're kicking out grandmas out onto the street.
I haven't been poor. I worked for 45 years. There is no American dream anymore. All it is survival.
She worked for 45 years, has never been poor, has never abused the system, have never asked the government for assistance. And she's worked hard her whole life and lives in a mobile home and pays her bills, and she's responsible. And a private equity firm comes in and destroys her entire community and kicks her out of her house. And now she's like, there is no American dream anymore. It's just survival. And that's how all Americans are feeling right now, whether they go to the grocery store, whether they buy a house, whether they rent an apartment, whether they buy a car, no matter what it is, it's survival now. And it's not the American dream. Right now, we're just living and working to survive. We're not living and working to actually live. Is that the kind of country we want to live in, where private equity firms are kicking grandmas out on the street everywhere we go? It's so disgusting. Let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at this. As I mentioned, your electricity bill doubled this year. That's not climate change, people. That's Wall Street. Of course it is. It always goes back to these private equity firms and Wall Street firms. Private equity firms spent $10 billion buying up America's power grid in 2025, turning your AC into their ATM. While you sweat through blackouts, they're counting profits. So that's what they're doing. They're buying up all the power grids, and that's why people are paying like $200, $250, light bills. It's insane. Everything is going to be owned by private equity firms because our government is doing nothing to stop it. There's going to be no more mom and pop shops, no more competition. I thought that's what capitalism was. I thought that competition, where we have companies that compete with each other, mom and pops, corporations competing against each other. Now we're going to have like 3 private equity firms owning the entire country. Why? Because our politicians work for them and not us. And so this is where we're at. This is where we're at, where 3 private equity firms own the entire country, no matter what it is. Look at this. Look at these prices for silverware at Target. It's time we break up monopolies in America. Private equity firms buying every company in America, and then price fixing is destroying our economy and way of life. So they're buying up these companies and they're price fixing. They're buying up these companies and they're price fixing. They're price gouging. Look at this. $50 for silverware, $125 for spoons and forks. $125 at Target for spoons and forks. So they're buying up a lot of these companies, a lot of these mom and pop shops, a lot of these importers, and they're jacking up prices. They're price gouging, right? Capitalism was never meant to end up as companies like BlackRock. Bigger is not better. Private equity firms across America have literally been buying up private businesses. Just like I said, there is no more mom and pop shops anymore. Dental, medical, and veterinary practices. So they're buying up dental, medical, and veterinary practices, plumbing, HVAC, and other services. Even HVAC companies and plumbing companies and dental companies, everything. They're buying everything. They want everything from us. They want to drain all our money from us. They hate us. This is where we're at, people. Then they can control the local markets, raise their prices to enhance their bottom line, but not provide commensurate service. People then switch back to mom and pop owned businesses and actually save money and not get screwed. Except what this guy thinks is that there'll still be mom and pop shops in the next 10 years. Because unless we get money out of politics and our politicians start working for us again and not these Wall Street firms, they're going to let them buy up everything, and there won't be any more mom and pop shops anymore. They want everything for themselves. They want to drain us of all our money, and the country is now completely unaffordable. You have Americans leaving the country. You have Americans in despair. You have youth that can't even afford anything, so they just stay inside on TikTok all day because they can't afford to even have relationships now. They're not going on dating apps anymore, so it's affecting our young people. You can't even move to a mobile home now. Or what, are we all going to live in RVs? Oh, I haven't seen any reporting, but I'm sure they're going to start buying up all the RVs as well. I mean, this is just where we're at. Let's bring it in. What do you guys think? Do you guys think this is the most disgusting corporate greed that you have ever seen? And does Wall Street do anything good? Do they do anything positive except destroy the country by buying up everything and jacking up prices, or destroying the country in financial crises like they did in 2008? I think we need to get rid of Wall Street completely. Completely get rid of Wall Street. We need to ban all these Wall Street firms from affecting this country in any way. They are trash. They don't care about us. They're willing to destroy the country. Look what they did in 2008. They almost brought the entire country down. Did any of them get in trouble? Was any of them arrested? Nope. They get away with it because the politicians work for them. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments. Like, subscribe. I hope you guys like this video. And if you do, hook me up with a like and subscribe to the channel, because I'm making videos typically every day, but sometimes every other day. But I try and put out a video every day. So let me know what you think. See you guys in the next one.